Hello, 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 beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Analogue, a hate story. When last we left off, we finished reading my favorite subplot, at least the one that I remember the most. I can't say for sure it's my favorite, but I'm pretty sure it is. I like that one quite a lot, especially with how the sad ending that it has. I tend to like sad endings in stories, at least to some extent. I enjoy them. Also, I didn't think about mentioning it last episode, but the thing that, and the reason why Mute sort of acts like that is, Mute is, at least bisexual. That's, obvious by if you go reading through the Steam achievements. But yeah, you can have a romantic ending with Mute if you, because you're given an option if you're when I think Mute asks you if you're a boy or a girl, or when you're asked if you're a boy or a girl, like this is Pokemon, you answer that you're a girl, and you can seduce Mute as a girl. So that's interesting. But let's see, we have some stuff to show Hyunai. Let's see, anything here? Let's start with this one. Thoughts? Oh wait, wrong voice. So you've read those then? Not that it was seen appropriate for women to spend time with anyone but other women for anything, but, so, why are you showing this to me? Just to hear what you think, really? Oh, why do you ask? Do you, approve of that sort of thing? I think it's fine. I see. Well, it's, when she said she wanted to be seduced, I can definitely really understand that. Especially if it was you. I saw that. Especially if it was you. I saw that. Especially if it was someone I really liked. That sounds like a good thing to me. Not that I could really imagine doing that with any of my servants, but Jeez, why are we even talking about something this embarrassing? Can we please talk about something else? Sure. Something else like this. This is something else. I said I didn't want to talk about this anymore, alright? Yep, and I will show you, let's see, the more inappropriate poem, to get your opinion on that. Same thing? Yes, you said you didn't really want to talk about this anymore. Okay. So let's go back and, well, we have some more stuff to show her. Block 3 was all Pale Bride stuff. No, it wasn't. Okay. Before that, then, I actually want to show her this. Thoughts? What is this? You talked to Mute? I don't know what she told you, but you really shouldn't listen to her. All she ever did was gossip, and I'm certain she hasn't changed a bit since back then. Please, don't trust her. She just spins everything to make everyone look bad, no matter what. Please, promise me. Okay, calm down. Thank you. I really appreciate that. At least you give me a fair chance. Interesting. These ships' lovable AIs don't particularly like each other, which is interesting. But let's show you some of these. Let's see, brought home. I think we've shown you this one before. I'll cut right to it. I was going to say the interesting part, but that's kind of awful, isn't it? I mean, given we're talking about a real person's life here, geez, this is a bit uncomfortable. The poor girl goes from being cute and excited to, well, what I mean is, she got jaded really quickly. Her family situation sounds like a really awkward arrangement. I'll show you what I mean. Let me know what you think after you've read that. Oh, so you gave us more logs. I like logs. Oh, there's a lot more logs. Including the ones that we have from Butte. But I want to show her that as well. Laughable Situation by Oh So Jin. Written 4/16 of the year 313. I cannot believe just 2 years ago I was actually excited about moving into the Smith home with my husband. Oh, how shortly that lasted. I find it funny The first time I realized that I would have to compete for his affections with every common woman and every courtesan he came across, I was so shocked. The first time we brought one home, I cried for a week, and mother-in-law was furious with me, claiming it my fault for not being enough for him. Now I realize the insanity of her reasoning, as if she wouldn't have already known her son was simply that sort of man. The only person who had any right to be shocked was me. Still, I struggle for his attention, but now it is all but banal. If the truth is to be told, that is something I would not tell mother-in-law nor Mute, nor least of all my husband. I do not even fight for his affections for my own sake. It is pure selfishness on my part. All I wish for is for some indicator that it isn't as though I'm unattractive, that it isn't as though I'm unlikable. Any affection he gets is simply an attempt at fishing that affection out of him, and nothing more. Thoughts? Here, I'll cut right to it. Yeah, that's person's life here. Poor girl, seems excited. Well, yeah. Yep. And I want to show you the one for Mute. Yes, this one. Thoughts? Questions? Concerns? Comments? Smith Sang-jung. I don't really know how to feel about him. I don't know. It doesn't really sound like anyone thought he was a very good person. It looks like he never married or anything. Yes, he was friends with Mute. Well, that doesn't surprise me. It just seems weird. Like, it sounds like Sojin was kind of off-put by him, and I don't really blame her. I don't know. I have no idea how to judge him. See for yourself, I guess. I've added a few more things about him. Okay. More logs is good. Daughter by Oh Sojin. Written in 7/10 of the year 313. For the past 2 months, ever since it became impossible to hide that she was with child, Zhang Mi has been living in our house, and no visitors have been allowed to come in. It has created an incredibly awkward state of affairs. I can hardly stand to be in the same room with that courtesan, let alone live with her. Until recently, so few words we exchanged, I did not even know her name until the 3rd week of her living here. My husband made me agree to go along with the fiction that the child is actually mine, which, well, I've yet to give him one myself, so if that is how I am to make up for it, then that is what I'll do. I thought it was going to be so hard to keep up that pretense, to pretend that this child is my own with the real mother lives under the same roof, but apparently not. As it turns out, the whole charade has been for absolutely nothing. After all that, the child turned out to be a girl. Of course, I'm sure Zhang Mi is quite happy, since she's already been bought out, in the hopes that we could pretend her son was mine. But an illegitimate daughter? Well, who cares? It would almost be funny, if not for the fact that it means I have to live with that constant reminder of how little my husband cares about me. Almost, but not really. Well, you can see how women were treated. More about that, huh? So, High Magistrate Smith Sang-min, huh? This man is just, wow, he's a real piece of work. He just could not keep his pants on, it seems. I mean, neglecting his wife so he can get a courtesan pregnant? Wow, what kind of man does that? Please, tell me you feel the same. I don't disagree with either of those, but I'm going to go with this one, because that one less so. I know, right? The idea of a woman living only for a man is just awful. But there's one way to make that worse, for the man to just ignore her entirely. Can you imagine living like that, just being kept away in the women's quarters with nobody to care about you in any way? I don't think her marriage was worse than mine, but at least I had something. And I didn't have to worry about scandals about to blow up in the family's face. There's one thing good about being the emperor's consort, I guess. So, all he ever paid attention to is women who weren't his wife, and all of his assorted business. Here, I'll show you what all that is. Looking at this, it feels like he spent more time with his brothers than his wife. Interesting. I'm Sorry by Smith Sang-min. Written in 9/18 of the year 313. Uncle Daiho. Look, I'm sorry about our last conversation, alright? It's like I said to you before, you just caught me at a really bad time. Sojin was kept in bed rest on strict doctor's orders. I'm sorry that you brought your wife all the way to get turned away like that. When I told Sojin that you had given her well wishes on her pregnancy, she was happy, but sad she couldn't see you herself. Our child was just born last week. A daughter. We decided to name her Minhee, and Sojin is recovering well. The doctor said it would be fine for her to see visitors next week. I'm sorry I got angry. If your wife still wants to see mine, or the child, or my mother, by all means, you're welcome to visit. I really hope there's no hard feelings, Uncle. I really hope there's no hard feelings, Uncle. Sang Min. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns? So, High Magistrate Sang Min, huh? Min is just, yeah, this one. I already seen this one. Yep, he's awful. Yep. Give me more points. Give me more points. I don't actually know if this game actually has points, to be fair. Yes. Go on. Next is Legendary Temper by a Clerk. Written in 7/14 of the year 314. Now I've been a clerk for a while, and it's not as if I haven't heard all the stories about High Magistrate Smith Sang Min and his legendary temper, but I always figured they were an exaggeration, especially after I met him for the first time. The man seemed like an absolute model of a gentleman, and rather calm and unemotional. I'm not criticizing him, I just never imagined that man getting angry. It was while an official was presenting the facts of a murder case to him, a drunken brawl between peasants gone horribly wrong. It all seemed satisfactory enough. A dozen men had seen it. There wasn't really any doubt about it. So far, so good. Very well, the High Magistrate said. Let me read the confession, then before I pass sentence. The official didn't have one, which is reasonable enough. A lot of times they can't get it out of them. I've never seen a magistrate who is really all too concerned about those little details. Excuse me, you don't have a confession? He said, and his mood soured right there. Why are you wasting my time then? He looked at the accused, who had been going silently up until that point. Do you even admit to killing him? The murderer seemed confused, and it took a minute to realize he was being addressed. Furthermore, when he did figure it out, he simply kept mumbling, my fault, or was it my fault, and the such. The High Magistrate is furious. What is wrong with you? What is this man doing in front of me in a state like that? He doesn't admit to doing it. What do you expect me to do? He demanded. After some silence from the official, continued. It wasn't a rhetorical question. Please, enlighten me. What do you expect me to do here? To punish him? The official finally offered, weakly, as confused about the matter as I was. Punish him? That was what set him completely off the edge. He stood up, shouting. We're not given the responsibility of punishment. What are we, barbarians looking for vengeance? The point of justice is to teach immoral men like him the error of their ways. He lectured, shouting at the top of his lungs. And what do you expect to do with a man who won't even admit his own actions? Does this man look like he's ready to learn? Do you seriously believe that? Are you simple? The official looked like he was about to argue, but then thought against it. Smart move. The High Magistrate continued, more calmly. Now stop wasting my time and get him out of my office. Come back when you have a confession and a clue as to what your job actually entails. And with that, he left, leaving the official speechless and leaving me realizing that perhaps legendary temper and being a model gentleman weren't quite so mutually exclusive as I had thought. What a dick. Also, that's not exactly how that works. Well, you've seen pretty much everything that matters about the Smith family now. I'm still just parsing this all myself, you know. Most of it's new to me, too. I mean, when I was alive, I didn't even know the Smith family existed. Well, maybe Jay Hua mentioned them once. I don't really remember. It's been 600 years, but I didn't think she did. I really wish I known about Sojin at the time. I really, really do. So what do you think? Are you satisfied with that overview? Sure. Oh, well, that's good. So what do you think of them then? I don't remember what I was talking about, so they're pitiful. Yeah, really. My family considered them political enemies, and the men were always so insistent on our family taking their place to the point where, well, you know. It just seems to me, though, that the men destroyed themselves and dragged women like poor Sojin with them. And I don't understand how Mute plays it at all. That's the weird thing to me. Still, though, what an awful marriage Sojin had. I feel so bad for her to be thrown away, forgotten like that. You know, though, in sort of a perverse way, I feel a little bit relieved to read another story like hers. Just so you know, it's not just me. A reminder that it's not just because I was from another time. It would have sucked even if I was born in that period. Does that sound bad to you? Yeah, it sounds pretty shit. Yeah, that's fair enough. Just one more thing to feel guilty about, I guess. Anyway, I suppose that's all. I might not have read that correctly. Oh well. Thanks for indulging me in going through their story, though. I really learned a lot just now. I won't waste your time with any more babbling. Shall we get back to whatever we were talking about before? What were we talking about before? I don't actually know. Thoughts? I'm sorry, but please don't get mad, but I don't really understand what you're looking for. Maybe I'm just not getting it and it's my fault, but I can't seem to find anything relevant. Sorry. That's fine. It's fine. That's your stock, the AI is broken or something. Nah, kidding. Was there anything else I wanted to try to show you? Like idiots, by example, here comes the fall. What is this one? Attempts to make Grant's family idiots act together. I think I've shown you this one before. Kyung Sam. I looked at the block that was locked down, but I'm not really seeing much of anything that's related to him. Well, there's one letter from saying men that suggests to Kyung Sam's father, Dai-ho. You've already read that, though. Basically, it doesn't really seem like he was very important, or really ever did anything but complain about the drama in the Smith-Sang men in Osojin house. I guess all the other noble families were pretty much as dumb as mine ever was. It's pretty depressing. Yeah, kind of. Let's see. 4, block 5. Was there anything here? No, she was the one that gave us these. Block 9? To air the new friendship. Was this given to us by Mute? Or... I don't remember. I'll show it to her anyway, just in case. Oh, actually, that reminds me. There's a couple people related to the Smith family that actually did cross the paths with young Suk you might be interested in. One was that courtesan who, did those scandalous things with Osojin. And the other was one of the brothers, the one who sounds like kind of a brute. Well, I've added a couple logs about them that I think you might be interested in. Sorry, I'll let you get back to what you wanted to talk about now. I just thought that it might be something you were interested in. Thanks. I mean, new logs are new logs. Yay, new logs. The New Bruise by Young Suk's wife. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not certain of that. Written 11/25 of the year 321. Dearest Mother, I really could use your advice. Husband has been working very late into the night recently on some business that he won't even share with me. I understand his reluctance to talk about things to his superior sworn into secrecy on, and that damned child has been keeping me plenty busy anyway, but I still wish he could tell me. Last night he was out even later than normal, and when he did finally return, he had a black eye, his hands and face bloodied. He looked really bad. The sight of that really scared me. Of course, you of all people know that I'm hardly squeamish at the sight of blood. It was how hurt he looked. I hurried into the kitchen and started to clean his wounds. I'll admit my voice wavered when I asked, "Husband, what happened?" He was reluctant to answer and grunted in pain when I convinced him to put ice on his bruised eye. He finally did, and you absolutely can't repeat what he said to me. Do you understand? Not a word of it to anyone, not even father. But I truly need advice. I had some questions for the High Magistrate's office. He sent his brother, Smith Sang-kyu, to answer them. That's the dumb, nasty one. My husband trailed off, thinking I asked him something that he didn't agree with. I had the moral high standing, but he had the physical high standing. His wound's clean. I didn't know what to do, but touched the uninjured part of his face to comfort him. But he joked. Yeah, then he joked. Turns out, his argument had hurt a whole lot more than mine. But I could tell underneath that he was truly hurt. What do I do, Mother? How was a woman supposed to respond to such an awful thing happening? I've tried to comfort him as best as I can, but I just don't know what else I can do, Mother. Please, you must have some advice. Hyunai, thoughts? Yep, you don't know what I'm asking about. Fair enough, you just showed us this one, but fine. Well, let's read the new Bribe by Kim Young-suk. Written in 1228 of the year 321. The incident occurred right as I was leaving the magistrate's office after a late night of going through some of his paperwork. The corridor lights had long ago dimmed, and the office should have been empty, so the horror slinked against the wall, right outside, definitely stood out. She was small and looked very young, and obviously she was dressed like any commoner, with her arms covering otherwise exposed breasts and all. I won't lie and say she wasn't attractive. She certainly was. I'm sure she's very good at her role. Hi, the horse said, approaching me. You're Kim Young-suk, right? I said yes. My name is Hana, she said, offering her hand to shake. It's an honor to meet you. I didn't take it, and told her it wasn't appropriate to be talking to her now. But I've got a message from Smith Sang-min that he really insisted I deliver, the horse said, moving closer. Can I come inside? I said no, of course. Even then, I could tell exactly where this was going, and was not pleased. Please? He was really insistent, she said, putting her hand on my face and smiling. I slapped it away instantly and shoved her into the wall. Tell him I said no. I snapped at the whore and walked away. She chased after me for a while, but eventually she seemed to realize that she wasn't going to get to me, and gave up. She was gone by the time I got home. I still can't believe he actually thought that it would work. Now I want to know more about what the High Magistrates Association with that whore even was. Thoughts, Hyunai? Huh? No, we don't know. I guess next time, because I'm going to end the episode now, I think. Yeah, I think next time, there's, these as well. Thoughts? Obviously, she had nothing to worry about. She realized pretty early on she was good to me. I really liked her. She was my only friend. It's so weird seeing her say things like that. But no extra things. I think we've read that before, as a matter of fact. But I think next time, I have more things that I want to show Mute, or at least attempt to show her anyway. I don't know what her response will be, but I think she'll at least have some response. But that's for next time. And, well, I hope to see you all there.